Hello everyone and welcome to Mr. Mo Dynasty. It's episode 40, and in this episode we are going to finish a very, very disappointing August as we trudge into the end of the season, definitely losing a lot more games than we're winning.
We start on August 23rd, the last full week of August, at 61-68. Sadly, we've dropped a little bit this month as we're 4 back in the wild card. Are we completely out of it? No. But we have got to get our act together. As it's amazing, the wild card, you get 2 teams at 65 and 64. So it's not impossible. But we have to stop the losing streaks. For example, 3 games in a row losing streaks in the month of August. And we've got to pick things up here on August 23rd. Team Chemistry Day. Roll D12. I did. It says roll against your team chemistry. If you succeed, roll D10 and add that to your GM approval, job security rating, salary cap, and expenditure probability rating. If you fail, subtract a D10 from those. So this is a big roll. Probably most important for our salary cap. And our team chemistry currently is at 57. So we need a 57 or higher to bump up our salary cap. And we get a 45. That is tremendous news for us. So let's start with GM approval. We currently are at 18. And the big number I'm rolling, that'll cover GM approval, job security rating, salary cap, expenditure probability rating. We are rolling, got a 5. All right, so let's start with GM approval rating. That goes from 18 to 23. That's a good sign. Our job security rating, that goes from 23 to 28, because if I would have lost that, we would be getting dangerously close to the 0, which we didn't want to get. Next, salary cap. We go from 52 to 57. That buys us a little bit of time. And then our expenditure probability rating goes from 22 to 27. So that was a huge roll for us. Probably even more important than beating the Mariners here, just being able to get that salary cap help. When we look at our budget right now, we're at 56. So having that 57 million cap so we didn't really get in trouble is huge. So now we are under the cap by about $1 million, which is very, very helpful. All right, so let's go ahead and simulate that day. We lose 4-5. Tough loss. Then Carter went 2 for 5 to raise his average to 217. Burleson, a home run with 3 RBIs, so he hit a 3-run homer. He's at 276. He just continues to have a dominant month of August. Colson Montgomery goes 2 for 4 to raise his average to 211. And Kyle Teal goes 0 for 4 to drop to 220. As far as pitching goes, Grant Taylor did a great job. 6 innings of 2-run ball. Very happy with that. Lowered his ERA. Freitas had a good inning. Mata had a good inning. John Curtis blows the game. He comes in and gets no outs. Gives up 3 hits, 3 runs, all of them earned. And we lose the game. And Wilson came in and gave up a hit and somehow got no outs. I don't know how that works. But anyway, we take the loss in the game, but we do get the win as far as the salary cap. So mixed bag. Let's go ahead and go to August 24th. It says roll D20. I did. It's a bullpen coach event. And it says bullpen coach. Randomly select a bullpen coach who can learn a new pitch. Roll in the first chart to see which pitcher, then roll in the second chart to see what pitch he learns, and then basically I roll 3 separate D100s to see if the bullpen coach helps get a good pitch on control, velocity, and break, or a bad characteristics. So I rolled and got middle reliever 3. So that would be Steven Wilson. And what it says is we learned a new pitch, and I rolled to see what that was, and it's a curveball. So he already has a sweeper and a four-seamer and a circle change, but now he's going to learn a curveball. So we're going to go to Steven Wilson. Keep in mind he's a 68C right now. And we are going to give him a new pitch. That will be a curveball. And then we have to determine how good is said curveball. So we're going to go to Steven Wilson. And we are going to give him the attributes for that curveball. So we have to roll against our pitching coach. And unfortunately for us, our pitching coach is terrible. So basically, he's only going to be able to teach us a 5 D20 on the, he's succeeded on the control, but then not on the velocity and braking. So we're going to go ahead and get the dice out to roll that. And basically, for the velocity, it's 5D20. So I roll basically D20 dice 5 times. Let me come back and tell you how that went. I actually thought it went pretty well. For his velocity, curveball is not the most important, but it's going to be a 79-mile-an-hour curveball. Here's the important one, his control. He's going to have pinpoint control with that curveball, which is fantastic. And the break, you'd like to see that break be a little bit better, but overall, that being said, that is a nice pitch to mix in with what he already had. Now the sweeper comes in at 82. So he actually learned this pitch a little bit better. So it wouldn't surprise me if Steven Wilson actually doesn't go up in ratings instead of down. 68. But he is 31. We'll see if that helps him. Yeah, it did help boost his control quite a bit by having that pitch be so good. So let's go ahead and go out to the game and see. We are 3 at home against the Yankees. We're 65 and 65. This is one of the teams we have to overcome if we're going to get the wild card. So we have to win this series, at least take 2 of 3. And we have our ace, Jonathan Cannon, on the mound. And we lose another heartbreaker, 5-6. Clifford with a home run, 2 for 4. Colson Montgomery went 3 for 4. Teal went 2 for 4. That's good to see. Curtis struggles again, giving up 2 runs in the third. He is really struggling. So he started out doing the closer role pretty well, but now it's a little obvious here. And by the way, Cannon did a great job. He went 6 innings to get 3 runs. That's a quality start. Mata gave up a run in 2/3 of an inning. Paredes did well. He gave up 2 hits. But once again, Curtis, that trade at the deadline probably is going to come back to bite us now as we are starting to lose games in the bullpen and the closer role. Now, we do have Curtis signed for an extension. I'm not giving up on Curtis. He still has a great season, decent season, 3.61 ERA. Now, the whip is fantastic. So, is he going to be our closer next year? I'm not sure. If Ray Mata gets some potential in the offseason, I certainly could see a situation where Curtis, might go Mata with the closing role. He's got the pitch clutch 65, Curtis 69. I don't know. I think Curtis has earned the start at least next year with that. That does also then allow us to have set up lefty and righty. But unfortunately, that loss is going to drop us to 61 and 70. August 25th is a roster readjustment day. Roll D14. I did, and it says the GM checks the waiver wire. If there's someone you'd like, the GM will approve the move. I did check the waiver wire, and no one was being waived this time. So that's basically a sim day. And we need Drew Thorpe to get back to 9-9 record. We need this Drew Thorpe. Going against Garrett Cole, it's not an easy matchup. Come on. Tristan Gray, we're going to lose him for 2 weeks. And we lose the game 1-0. Our offense can't come through for us. What is going on? Burleson did go 2 for 3. He had 2 of our 3 hits. 3 errors on our team is helpful. Look at what Drew Thorpe did. 7 innings of scoreless ball. He did give up 3 walks. Paredes did well. Curtis gives up another run. Looks like it was on an error, one of the 3 errors we had. And Steven Wilson comes in and gets a third of an inning and lowers his ERA to 9. But Curtis, another loss. He's having a rough week for sure. And we lose our 3rd straight and our, looks like 6th of our last 7. As we are quickly falling. That is a shame. And we go to the last game of this series at home against the Yankees. Currently on a 3-game losing streak, trying to avoid the sweep. And we get a personnel changes that says roll D16, and I rolled a 2. It's a pitching coach change. It says if the team has the team ERA in the top 10, increase the rating of our pitching coach by 10. And if we have a bottom 10 ERA, decrease it by 10. So let's see how we match up currently with team ERA. Are we in the top 10? Highly unlikely that we are not. We are not. Look, the Marlins are though. Wow. All right. Are we in those squishy metal, which would be great? We are not. Instead, we are going to fall to 24th in the league, which means our pitching coach drops another 10 points, of which he really couldn't afford. He was already rated a -4. This is the last year of his deal, so we'll be looking to fire him, or not bring him back, I should say, at the end of the year. So let's go ahead and simulate the day. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and fix the lineups, and then we'll simulate the day. So to fix that loss of Tristan Gray, I brought Lennon Sosa back up from the minors. He wasn't hitting all that well, but I felt like he'd already used an option this year, so he was the best bet. And so against righties, I'm going to go ahead and still play Jordan Sprinkle, and he will play short, and Colson Montgomery will play second. And then against lefties, because Sosa does have those 85, 67 numbers against lefties, which I wish would come to fruition, he will play second base, and Montgomery will play short. And then we'll sit Jordan Sprinkle and Brooks Baldwin. And that's what we're going to do. So let's go ahead and simulate that day. And we lose 4-1. He gets swept. We've lost 4 in a row, and the losing continues. Unfortunately for me, it was exactly as I feared. He had 4 at-bats. He went 1 for 4, but I had the opportunities, and I didn't take them. So he will drop D4 potential. So that's unfortunate. We got off such a good start. And unfortunately, I did roll a 4. That's too bad. We do get the win, 3-1. It's a great pitching performance by Brock Selvage. But we do have to go into Emerson and drop his potential by 4. Drop down to a 74 potential. That's unfortunate. We have, I think, hurt our players in the minors this year more than we've helped them. That is for sure. And that is an off day in our Major League squad. And that's where we'll stop for that day. We'll move on to August 28th. So we're back in action. We had an off day, even though we have another home set. We're going against the Athletics, who are worse than us. And we have a roll D100. We got a no event, so we're going to simulate this day. And Baroa takes the loss. His ERA increases to 4.35. We lost to Luis Severino, former Yankee. 5-2 was the loss on that one. And we have now lost every game this week. We are 0-5 this week. 5-game losing streak is not a great way to close out the month of August. And now it says, August 29th, it's time for your monthly assessment of the confidence that the manager has in you. So first of all, you take your, this is for team chemistry. This is player approval rating. Our player approval rating currently is 42. Do we have a winning or losing monthly record this month? We have lost a lot more than we won, so we have to subtract a D6 on that. So we basically take our record, and gets this, so our 42 player approval rating subtracts 3, so now we're down to 39. And then our overall team record is also losing, so we have to subtract 39 from a D12. 39 minus 7 is a 32. So we have a 32% chance of moving up in team chemistry. And I rolled a 64. So we are going to lose D20 in team chemistry. We currently sit at 57. And I rolled a 13. So we are going to drop in team chemistry from a 57 to a 44 in team chemistry. Yeah, the losing is starting to chip away at our team's confidence for sure. And then we're going to go ahead and simulate that August 29th day. And the losing continues. We lose all week. We have a 6-game losing streak. We lost 6 of our last 7. 6 in a row. 7 of our last 8. 9 of our last 10. It's been a bad month of August. There's no way to sugarcoat it other than to say we are running out of steam. August 30th is a minor league war adjustment day. For both the AAAs and AAs, you get a potential boost for the best war and the worst war. All right, so we're going to go ahead and see how that matches up. Let's take a look. So we're going to rate our players by war. And our best war player for positions in the triples is Terrell Tatum. So Tatum is going to get the boost in potential. And then our worst war player is Eddie Park. He is a 0.8 war player. Okay, now we're going to go to pitchers. And our best war player it's a tie between Cooper Chirpy and Juan Correa. So with that, we have a roll off to see. Chirpy will be even, Correa will be odd. It's even, so it'll be Chirpy. So Chirpy will be the player that goes up. And for negative war, it's going to be Kyle Gordon. Gordon will take the drop. Okay, let's go to then AA. And let's see who are our best and worst war players. Our best war player is Ryan Burroughs. He will get the jump up for best war. And unfortunately for our players, Chase Madrath continues to drop. For pitchers, our best war player is Morales. 4.1. Wow. That is fantastic. And our negative war player, this is great news to see. Now, Marte's only pitched 3 innings, so it's kind of unfair. And Webster's only pitched 8.1. So a little unfair to give them that, but should it go to Garb? You know what? Have they really had enough innings? That's the question. I don't think so. So I think we're going to give it to Yabber, because he's pitched 21 and 2/3 innings. So I think Yabber is going to be our worst war player. So he's pitched 21 innings. Yep. Okay. So now we go in and make these changes. These are all D4 or D8s based on if the manager helps or hurts. So let's start with the triples. Let's start with Tatum. A 67D player with the potential of 69. This is a good thing for him. Now, what happens is, does his manager help his progress? Or now his manager is bad, so it's going to be a D4 potential gain for Tatum. Good news is that's going to put him over into a C range, and he gained a 4. So he's going to go up to 73. Great news to see for Terrell Tatum. Love seeing that C on his potential. Fantastic, Terrell Tatum. Next up, we have the player going down is going to be find his name. Eddie Park. Park was already at a D potential, and he's going to lose D8 potential because our manager there is not very good. And he loses 8 potential. Wow, Eddie Park It's going to go to 54. And his career may have come to a close with that role. I mean, he's been hurt. Now he stays at 64D, but troubling pull there for Eddie Park. Now, let's go to the pitchers. Chirpy is going to get a boost. He's going to get a D4 boost. He got a 3 boost, which is great because now he is a B potential player too. So that's fantastic to see. Love to see that for Cooper Chirpy, pitcher that we traded for in the Luis Robert trade. And granted, Burleson was the main piece, but we still were hoping for great things from Chirpy, and we still hope for great things from Chirpy, even though this year he struggled with us, the 6 ERA. Although the previous year he did pretty well, the 4.18 ERA. So hopefully he can bounce back in his 25-year age season. And that's a good one. But now we have to do the negative. And the pitcher for that was Al Gordon. He has 77 potential. He loses 5. All right, so that takes care of the triples. Now we go to the double. Ryan Burrows continues to get some love. He has 68 C potential, so now he's going to stay up a C potential. But let's see what our double A manager. He's at 9%, so a big chance. Oh, all right, he's going to go D4 as well. I rolled a 3. Good development there for Ryan Burrows. The negative, though, is going to be Chase McGrath. The star continues to drop a bit, and he is going to drop potential of D8. If I can find that die. There it is. So he's going to drop from 70, and he hits a big 8. That's not good. So his star continues to fall in this franchise as he now is a D potential. That's tough. For our pitchers, Francisco Morales. If you look at that's great. He's doing fantastic. He's a 69C. Can this boost him? Yes, it will. He will go to B potential, which is awesome. That kind of growth is something we want to see. He's going to go up a D4, 2 points. But now he is a B potential pitcher. Unfortunately, Yarborough, Yabber's going to drop some. Yabber's going to drop potential of D8. He's already at a D potential. He's going to drop from 67 to 64. So there are your jumps. Now, how does that impact our team's prospects? Well, right now, we've got Noah Schultz, who just called up as our number 1 prospect. Sebastian Walcott is number 2. And then look at those pitchers. Garcia's 3, Marte's 4, Ordonez is 5, and now Francisco Morales has jumped to our 6th best prospect in our system. Yeah, we definitely have a lot of pitching down the line. You can kind of see the rest of our prospects. That moved Brian Burrows up a little bit. Yeah, great to see that our team definitely is developing a lot of young pitching that will come up the pipeline to help us out for sure. So we go and simulate that day. And that is a loss of 5-1, and the losing streak continues as we get swept by the A's at home. So we lose 6 games at home to the A's and Yankees, and the losing streak continues. We are now at a 7-game losing streak. And we go to August 31st. It's now time for our GM to have their monthly assessment of us. Well, he's at 23 as far as his approval of us. And then we have to subtract 2. And we have to subtract 2, so 4, so 19. So we have a 19% chance of increasing our job security and an 81% chance of losing it. And we roll an 81, which means we are going to lose D10 job security. Now our job security rating is at 28. We do not need this number to be too high. We roll a 6. So our job security is down to 22. Now we're starting to get into a little nervous on the job security rating. We're not going to get fired at the end of this year, but next year, third year of the rebuild, we could be in danger. We finally end the losing streak, thank goodness. We win that one 3-2. Dominguez and Montgomery had home runs. And Drew Thorpe gets the win to go to 9-9 as he continues his great season in the majors. Mata, Paredes, and Curtis all have scoreless outings, and Curtis gets the save. We finally end the losing, thank goodness.
One more month to play for Season 2 of your White Sox. Doesn't look like we're making the playoffs, but one more to go. All right, thanks again for watching, and have a great day.